Hey, welcome to Coffee and Chatter. We're going to delve into the COVID um, vaccine chronicles or whatever. And I'm going to talk about who's actually dying from the COVID. I just saw someone earlier this evening, a doctor of some type. He seemed to have all the right credentials. Uh, Basically saying something that I said a couple days ago. Conclusion I'd arrived at that this ain't going away. This is going to be like the flu, the cold. We can't get rid of this, and it's not that bad. It's not as bad as they're making it seem, and we can't just keep shutting everything down and letting Doctor Fakey, come on and scare everybody to death. Anyway, let's get into it here. The United States, under the auspices of one said Dr. Fakey, and thanks to the American taxpayer, funded the making of a very contagious virus in the labs at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, China. Undoubtedly, the virus has killed, but mostly the elderly and the infirm. It has been stated that the average age of those dying from the virus in the U.S. is actually higher than the normal life expectancy in the U.S. So those that are dying are, they're already past the normal or average life expectancy. And their immune systems are weakened at that point. The average life expectancy in the U.S. is about 78 and a half years of age. As for the average of those dying from COVID, well, as I suspected going in, that number was going to be hard to pinpoint. Why? I don't know. Somebody trying to hide something? I don't really know, but I have my suspicions, and Google has become completely useless. I'm going to go over some of what I did find. All I could find were individual studies. I couldn't find an aggregate, of everything altogether. So let's look at this one study. And I was unable to find what I consider an aggregate study, something that pulls everything together. I'm not sure where that info is, but I did come up with this one particular study. So, among 56 public health departments contacted by the CDC, 16 provided supplementary data on 10,647 COVID 19 deaths that occurred during the period between February 12th and April 24th back in 2020. 74.8% of those deaths, 10,647 deaths, occurred in people aged 65 years or older. Of those decedents, of the 10,647, almost 10,997 resided in New York City, the state of New Jersey, or Washington State. And of those 9,997 in those three areas, the median age of decedents was 75 years of age. The remainder, just about 650, resided in 13 other jurisdictions, unnamed, and the median age of those decedents was 78 years of age. Okay, so there you have it. In the ensuing Dem panic, that I call it, we encouraged Big Pharma to come up with a vaccine and promised a full release of liability on their part for deaths or bad reaction due to the need for a rush to market product. What could possibly go wrong, right, with the promise of mucho bucks for a rush medication and no liability? That's Big Pharma's dream. So at this time, the vaccine is still unapproved by the FDA. Thus, it is only available via an EUA, Emergency Use Authorization. The EUA is another problematic issue, as there are currently other known treatments that have worked well against the effects of the virus, but that's another scandal altogether. While the promise that the vaccine would bring life back to normal and protect against the spread of the virus, the opposite seems to be the case here. Now we're being told that the vaccine will not stop the spread of the virus, but will only mitigate some of the more egregious results, like hospitalization. In fact, that's exactly what the alternative treatments do. Hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, and steroid treatments. They mitigate the effects of the virus. Unfortunately, to protect the profits of big pharma, the alternative treatments have become taboo, and doctors prescribing such voodoo have been threatened and canceled. Experts, real experts. Mask and social distancing are coming back. How many more lives, small businesses, and educational opportunities for our children can we destroy? And then there's the VAERS, VAERS, Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System database. The problem with VAERS is that historically it has been understood that due to the difficulty in reporting and diagnosing, that VAERS has only reported about 10% of the actual adverse reaction cases. Additionally, even with the low number of reactions and deaths due to COVID vaccines being reported, it has been said that the numbers for the COVID vaccine adverse reactions deaths are higher than all other reporting of other vaccines combined to date. Quite a few of them. Some dispute this factoid, I know. As I stated above, though, Google is no help. Truth is hard to find these days. This is a fact. The H1N1 vaccine, or what was called the swine flu vaccine, was pulled off the market, even though approved, after thousands contracted Guillain-Barré syndrome, and there were 54 reported deaths. So then why the push to get everyone vaccinated against COVID, a virus that seems for the most part to adversely affect only the very elderly and infirm? I wish we were concerned about 1 million abortions a year that snuff out the life of innocents before they have ever taken a breath nor seen the light of day, as opposed to our concern for those who have already lived beyond the normal life expectancy. In other words, what the heck is going on? All right, thanks for listening to me today on Coffee and Chatter. See you again.